Hello my dear friends, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. So my dear friends, you are very welcome in a lecture number 4 of coordinate geometry. Okay. So my dear friends, today we are going to discuss a lot of problems based on the coordinate geometry. Okay. So my dear friends, you have to be listen very carefully. Okay. So without wasting the time, let's start. Yes. So today we are going to discuss some important questions. Okay. So these questions which we are going to study, these questions are very important. These questions are very important from the exam point of view. Okay. So you have to be listen very carefully, and from these questions your all concepts will be clear. Okay, your all concept will be clear. Okay, so after this lecture you are able to solve any type of question based on the coordinate geometry. Okay, so let's start. Yes, so the first question number 1 is, what is the distance of the point 3 comma 2 from the y axis. So first of all, we have to plot this point. Yes. Okay, so this is our Cartesian plane, and here is, my dear friend, let's suppose this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, and here is, this is 1 and this is 2. This is, my dear friend, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, and we know that both the points are of positive. So this point lie in, yes, in first quadrant. Okay, so this point will approximately lie here. This point is approximately lie here. So this is 3 comma 2. This is what? 3 comma 2. Now my dear friends, in this case we have to find the distance from the y-axis. Now means we have to find the distance between this point and from the y-axis. So what is this distance? So this distance is the x coordinate, means 3. So we can write the distance of point 3 comma 2 from the y-axis is what? Is 3 unit. Is 3 unit. Okay, I hope my dear friends you understand these things. Okay, so now let's move on to the next question. Yes, next question is, the points P, the coordinates are 3 comma P, and point Q, coordinates are Q comma 5, represent the same point R. Okay, now my dear friends, what are the respective value of P and Q? What are the respective values of P and Q? Okay, so now my dear friends, in this question, here is, we can say that two ordered pairs are equal if their corresponding coordinates are equal. Means here is, this point R represent the same point, means we have the coordinates 3 comma P, which is equals to coordinate Q comma 5. So from this we can write here as P is equals to what? P is equals to 5 and Q is equals to 3. I hope my dear friends you understand these things. So this is the answer of this question. Okay. Yes. So now next question is, the points A which having the coordinates minus a comma minus a. The point B which having the coordinates a comma minus a, and C bracket a comma a and D minus a comma a form a polygon. Form a polygon. Now my dear friends, we have to find where does the origin lie. Where does the origin lie? Okay. So let's suppose my dear friends, first of all we have to draw a Cartesian plane. Let's suppose this is a Cartesian plane. Okay. Now this is x-axis. This is what? X-axis. And this is y-axis. Now my dear friends, in this case, first of all we have to plot these points. We have to plot these points. So in this case all the points are a either which is in positive x-axis, which is in negative x-axis, or it is in negative y-axis and positive y-axis. Okay, so now it means we have a is a common. So my dear friend, let's suppose this is origin. Okay, this is origin. Now if we plot the point A, it is lie in third quadrant. It is lie in third quadrant. Let's suppose this is, here is minus a and here is a. Okay, now if you plot this point, so this will lie here. Okay, so this is what point A, and this is minus a comma minus a. Now we have a is in positive and positive in x-axis. So this, let's suppose this is a point, and positive y-axis, let's suppose this is a, positive a, which is on positive y-axis. Okay, now my dear friends, we have to plot point B. Point B is lie in the which quadrant? Is lie in the fourth quadrant, because here is point A means x coordinate is what? Is positive and y coordinate is negative. So my dear friends, it is lie approximately here. It is lie here. So this point B is a comma minus a. Okay, now my dear friends, here is most important thing is, now we have to plot point C, which is in first quadrant, because both the coordinates are positive. So this is what? This is our point C and coordinates are a comma a. So now my dear friends, we have to plot point D. So this point lie in fourth quadrant, means here. This is the point D, which is minus a comma a. Okay, now my dear friend, now if we observe this figure, if you observe this figure, origin lie in at the center of this square. This is what? This is like square. This is a square, means we can say that from the above diagram or graph, we can say that point A, B, C and D, means from this above diagram we can say that point A, B, C and D form a square A, B, C, D. Okay, so now my dear friends, if we draw the diagonals, okay, so from these two diagonals we can say that the origin lies, this origin lies at the point where the diagonals of the square intersect. Okay, So my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. So we can say that the correct answer is the origin. The origin lies at the point where the diagonals of the square intersect. Okay, I hope you understand these things, my dear friends. Now, yes, question number 4 is, which of the following quadrants has or have points with a positive abscissa? So now, my dear friends, we have to tell the quadrants which have the positive abscissa. Means abscissa, what is abscissa? This is a coordinate of x, means this is x coordinate. Okay, so if we draw the Cartesian plane, let's suppose this is Cartesian plane, and we know that this is first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, and this is fourth quadrant. Okay, now, and we know the sign convention of this quadrant. In this quadrant, in first quadrant, x is positive and y is also positive. In second quadrant, x is negative and y is positive. In third quadrant, x is negative and y is also negative. And in fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative. So from this we can say that in quadrants first and fourth, abscissa is always positive, means we can say that x coordinate is positive. Okay, I hope you understand these things, my dear friends. So now let's move on to the next question. Yes, question number 5 is, in which of the following quadrants ordinates of a point is negative? Now we have to tell that ordinates is negative. We have to find the quadrants. We have to tell which quadrants in which ordinates of a point is negative. So now again let's draw the Cartesian plane. Again, this is Cartesian plane. This is our first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, and this is fourth quadrant. Okay, and we know that this is, here is positive, here is negative, here is negative, and here is what? Here is positive, negative. My dear friends, these coordinates, this sign convention, we can learn very easily. How? We know that this is origin and here is positive x-axis, means here is positive x-axis, and here is positive y-axis, here is negative x-axis, and here is negative y-axis. Okay, negative y-axis. So now, my dear friends, let's suppose a point lie in this quadrant. So in this quadrant, my dear friends, this is, here is positive and here is positive. So we can say this is positive. Now if a point lie in second quadrant, so now, my dear friends, here is negative x-axis and here is positive y-axis. So the coordinates are negative, positive. Okay, now let's suppose a point which lie in third quadrant. Let's suppose here. So here is, my dear friends, here is negative x-axis and negative y-axis. So that's why we are saying that here is negative, means both the coordinates are negative. And if let's suppose if a point lie in fourth quadrant, so in this case my dear friend, here is positive x-axis and here is negative y-axis. That's why we can say that this is the coordinates are positive and negative. Okay, understand my dear friend. Now what is ordinate? Ordinate is also called as, yes, also called as the coordinates of y, means y coordinates. So now in this case we have to tell that which quadrants having the negative coordinates. So from this graph we can say that negative, yes, negative ordinate, negative points ordinates lie in which quadrants? So here is, if you see that, in third quadrants and in fourth quadrants, in third quadrants and in fourth quadrants. So I hope you understand these things, my dear friends. Yes. So now next question is, write the coordinates of the point. Okay, now we have to write the coordinates of a point which lies on y-axis, which lies on y-axis at a distance of 4 units, at a distance of 4 units in negative direction of y-axis. So now my dear friend, first of all let's draw the Cartesian plane. Let's draw the Cartesian plane. Okay, so this is origin. Okay, now my dear friends, this is, we know that this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Now if you observe this, my dear friends, here is, we have to write the coordinates of the point which lies on y-axis. First of all, this is our y-axis. Okay, this is our y-axis. Okay, and one more important thing is in negative direction of y-axis, means we have to plot a point below the origin on the y-axis, means in this direction. Okay, and the distance is what? The distance is 4 units, means let's suppose this is -1, this is -2, this is -3, and this is -4. Okay, so now we have to plot this point. Okay, so now write the coordinates of this point. Let's suppose this is point A. Okay, now we have to write the coordinates. So in this case, my dear friends, here is, we can write the coordinate A as, we know that on the y-axis x coordinate is always 0, so this is 0. Now y coordinate is what? Y coordinate is, the distance is from origin to point A is -4, so we can write 4, but it is in negative y-axis, it is on negative y-axis, so we can write minus, we can write -4. Okay, so I hope, my dear friends, you understand these things, how to write the points, how to write the coordinates. So this is our correct answer. This is our what? Yeah, this is our correct answer. So let's move to the next question, my dear friends, which is, the perpendicular distance of a point from the x-axis is 2 units. X-axis is 2 units, and its perpendicular distance from the y-axis is 3 units. From the y-axis is 3 units. Now find the coordinates of the point if it is lie in the third quadrant, if it is lie in the third quadrant. Okay, so now my dear friends, here is, first of all, again we have to draw a Cartesian plane. Again we have to draw a Cartesian plane. Okay, let's suppose this is our Cartesian plane. Okay, now we know that this is our y-axis and this is our x-axis. Okay, now my dear friends, in this case, here is, if you observe this, our first statement is saying that the perpendicular distance of a point from the x-axis is 2 units, and we know that the perpendicular distance of a point from x-axis is what? This is the y coordinate. This is the what? Y coordinate. Okay, so and the most important thing is that these these coordinates lie in third quadrants. Lie in third quadrant means this is our third quadrant. Okay, in this third quadrant, let's suppose a point having the coordinate minus x comma minus y, minus x comma minus y. Okay, now this is -1, this is -2, this is -3, and here is -1, -2, -3. Okay, now it is saying that the distance between the point A and the x-axis, okay, means perpendicular distance. Okay, so this is 2 units. So our y coordinate means lie on the this axis at this point. Okay, so this is our y coordinate -2, and its perpendicular distance from the y axis is 3 unit. Means it is saying that the perpendicular distance from a point A and from the y axis, it is what? It is the x coordinate. Okay, so this coordinate we are talking about this point. Okay, we are talking about this point. So here is, if we meet these two lines, so this is what? This is distance of 3 unit and this is the distance of 2 unit. Okay, so these are the distance. Okay, these are the distance. Okay, which always in positive direction, which always positive. Okay, yes. Now these coordinates are negative and the distance is positive. Okay, so now my dear friends, from this a point is minus 3 comma minus 2, minus 3 comma minus 2. So this is our required answer. This is our required answer. This is our answer. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. So this is the solution of this question. Okay, these are the coordinates. So now, my dear friends, let's move on to the next question. Now here is, which of the following points, which of the following points lie on x-axis, lie on x-axis. So we know that, my dear friends, on the x-axis, coordinate of y means y coordinate or ordinate is 0, is 0. Okay, so now here we have to choose that point which having the ordinate means y coordinate is 0. Y coordinate is 0. Okay, so now here is, if you observe this, now you can observe this, in this A there is 0 comma 2. Okay, so this is not on the x-axis because here is x coordinate is 0, so this is not lie on the x-axis. Now point B 0 comma 6, 0 comma 6, so this point is also not lie on the x-axis because here is x coordinate is 0, here is x coordinate is 0. Now let's talk about the point C. So this point is -3 comma 0, -3 comma 0. So now we can say that in this case this point lie on the x-axis because here is y coordinate is 0, here is y coordinate is 0. So we can say that this point lie on x-axis, on x-axis. So I hope you understand these things. Now if you talk about point D, so the coordinates are 0 comma -3, so we can say that this is not lie on the x-axis because here is x coordinate is 0. Okay, but on the x coordinate, on the x-axis, x coordinate is not 0 but y coordinate is 0. Now if you talk about point E, now the coordinates are 4, 0. Now in this case, we can say that this point means this point lie on x-axis, on x-axis. Now if you talk about F point, now the coordinates of F is what? Coordinates of F is what is 6, 0. Now again this is 6, 0. So we can say that again this point lie on x-axis, lie on x-axis, because in this case y coordinate is 0, y coordinate is 0. Now if you talk about the G point, now in this case here is G case, the coordinate of G is what? The coordinate of G is 3, 0. 3, 0. Now again in this case we can write this point lie on x-axis. So we can say that points, which points? Here is C, E and F and G. So points C, okay, and E, F and G. Point C, E, F, G lie on x-axis, lie on x-axis. So I hope my dear friends you understand these things. So the main concept is that on the x-axis y coordinate or ordinate is always 0, is always 0. Either the points on the negative x-axis or points on the positive x-axis. Okay, yeah. So now, so the next question is, my dear friends, here is study the given graph. Now we have to study this graph, and what are the coordinates of A, B, C and D, and we have to find the coordinates of A, B, C and D. Okay, so this is very easy question, my dear friends. Here is, now this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and here is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here is -1 and -2. Here is -1, -2. Okay, now so my dear friends, here is we have to find the coordinate of A. So my dear friends, if you see this, this is what? This is on the x-axis, means first is on the x-axis we know that coordinates of y is 0, so means we can say that this is 0. Okay, now we have to find the x coordinate. So for this, here is, this is the distance from point 0 to A is 5. So here is 5 because it is in positive x-axis. So here is we are writing the positive 5. So A is what? Yes, 5, 0. Now let's find the distance. Let's find the coordinates of point B. So now here is x coordinate is the distance from point B to this parallel y-axis. This y-axis. Okay, so the distance from point B to the to the y-axis is what? 5. Is what? 5. So x coordinate is 5. Okay, now the distance of point B and the x-axis, perpendicular distance, this is what? This is 3. Okay, and this point B lie in second quadrant. This point B lie in second quadrant. So the coordinates are positive, positive. So the coordinates are positive, positive. So these are 5, 3. So point B is 5, 3. Now we have to find the coordinates of point C. Now in this case, my dear friends, this the distance between the perpendicular distance between point C and y-axis is what? 2. This is 2. And the distance between point C and the perpendicular distance between point C and the x-axis, this is 4. This is what? 4. But this point lie in second quadrant, and here we know that In second quadrant, x coordinate is negative and y coordinate is positive. Okay, so point C is what? Minus 2 comma 4. Point C is what? Minus 2 comma 4. So I hope, my dear friends, you understand these things. Now we have to find the coordinates of D. This is point D. Now on this point D, here is, if you observe this, my dear friends, this point lie on y axis, means we can say that in this coordinate of x, means x coordinate is 0 because this is lie on y axis, and the distance of point O to D is what? Is 2 unit. So this is 2, but this point D lie on the negative y axis, means here is minus 2 is come. Okay, so these are the points A, B, C and D. The coordinates of A is what? 5 comma 0. The coordinate of B is what? 5 comma 3. The coordinate of C is minus 2 comma 4 and the coordinate of D is 0 comma minus 2. I hope, my dear friends, you understand these things. So now let's move on. Yes, so the next question is, here is, my dear friends, in this question, in the given graph, triangle ABC and triangle ABD, this triangle A, B and C and triangle A, B and D are equilateral triangle. These are what? These are equilateral triangle. Now we have to find the respective coordinates of point C and D. Okay, we have to find the coordinates of point C and D. Point C and D. So my dear friends, this triangle ABC and triangle ABD are equilateral, means all the sides are equal, means the sides are equal. So here is, so now my dear friends, in this case, this is ABC is what? Equilateral triangle, and this distance, if you see this distance is what? This is the distance from OA is what? A, and the distance from OB is also A. Okay, it means O is what? O is the midpoint of AB. Okay, O is the midpoint of AB. So it means AB we have twice of A. AB is what? AB is twice of A. Okay, so from this, my dear friends, here is, if this side AB is twice of A, means AC is also 2A, because AB is equals to AC, equilateral triangle. Okay, now my dear friends, in triangle AOC, okay, AOC, this is 90 degree, we know that. So this triangle is what? Right angle triangle. So with the help of Pythagoras theorem, we can find OC. So our main target is to find the OC distance. Okay, so this is a right angle triangle. So we can find OC. How? We know that AC square is equals to OA square plus OC square. Okay, here is, we have to find OC square. So OC square is equals to AC square minus OA square, and AC is what? Twice of A whole square minus OA is what? A square. So my dear friend, this will become 4A square minus A square. So this will become, my dear friends, here is 3A square. 3A square. So this is what? OC square. Now we have to write OC. So this will become root 3 into A. So this is OC. This is OC. Okay. So now, my dear friends, in this case, here is OC distance is this distance, root 3A. Okay. And we know that point C lie on the y coordinate. It means x coordinate is 0. So this is 0 comma and the distance is what? Root 3a. So y coordinate is root 3a. Y coordinate is root 3a. Similarly, this distance is also, because AOD is also a equilateral triangle, so this distance is also, my dear friends, root 3a. Now this point D is what? This point D is again lie on the y-axis. Okay, so x coordinate is 0. So my dear friends, here is, we know that this is on negative y-axis. This is on what? Negative y-axis. So this point is minus root 3a. Minus root 3a. So this will become, my dear friends, point D. So we can write C point is 0 comma root 3a and D point is 0 comma minus root 3a. 0 comma minus root 3a. So I hope, my dear friends, you understand these things. Okay, so this is our answer. This is our answer. Okay, I hope you understand these things, my dear friends. Okay, yes. So now, my dear friends, let's move on to the next question. Yes, so we have, my dear friends, question number 11 is plot the points 1 comma 0, 4 comma 0 and 1 comma 3. Okay, so we have 3 points P, Q and S. Okay, and now find the coordinates of the point R such that PQRS is a square. Now PQRS is what? PQRS is a square. So for this, my dear friends, here is first point is this. So first point is 1 comma 0. So my dear friends, we can say that this point P lie on x-axis, because here is y coordinate is 0. Okay, so 1 comma 0, 1 comma 0. Yeah, this is 1 comma 0. So this is 1 comma 0. Okay, now we are plotting point Q. So here is point Q is 4 comma 0 means, yes, this point, because here is y coordinate is 0. So this point is lie on x axis. So this point is point Q 4 comma 0. And we have S point which is 1 comma 3 means x coordinate is 1 and y coordinate is 3, means this point is lie here. So this point is our S point which is 1 comma 3. Now we have to find R point such that PQRS is square. So now, my dear friends, we know that this distance is, if we calculate this distance, we get, here is from 1 to 2, this is one unit, from this 1 unit, from this 3 to 4, from this 1 unit. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, it means, so from point P to Q, the total distance is 3 unit. Total distance is 3 unit. Okay, and if you observe this, here is from 1 to 3 means from P to S, again total distance is 3 unit. So my dear friends, we know that this is a square, and in a square all the sides are equal. So for finding the point R, we have to plot after 3 point, means after 3 unit distance. Okay, so we have to count from this point 3 unit. So 1 1 1. Okay, from this one, from this is 1 and this is 1. So this is R, yes, R point. Now this point is what? This point is, here is 4 and y coordinate is 3. So this is 4 comma 3. So now this will become square. This will become what? This will become square. PQRS. So my dear friends, here is R coordinate is 4 comma 3. R coordinate is what? 4 comma 3. So I hope, my dear friends, you understand these things. What is R coordinate? Yes. So now let's move on to the next question, which is, my dear friends, here is, so now, my dear friends, question number 12 is points A, B, C and D forms a square. Okay, now points A is minus A comma minus A, point B is A comma minus A, point C is A comma A, and point D is X comma Y. Okay, now in which of the following quadrants does the points D lie? Got it? Yes, so now my dear friends, question number 12 is point A, B, C and D form a square. Now my dear friends, we have point A, B, C and D. Okay, and point A is minus A comma minus A, point B is A comma minus A, point C is A comma A. Okay, and we have to find point D, which is X comma Y. Means we have to find that in which quadrant does the point D lie. Okay, we have to find in which quadrant does the point D lie. Okay, now my dear friend, let's suppose we are taking A as a 1 unit. We are taking A as a 1 unit. So here is my dear friends. So point A will become minus 1 comma minus 1. Point B will become 1 comma minus 1. Point C will become 1 comma 1. And point D is as it is, which is X comma Y. This is not changing. Now we have to first of all we have to plot the point A, B and C. Okay, so point A is minus 1 comma minus 1, means it is lie in third quadrant. So this is minus 1 and this is minus 1, means X coordinate is minus 1 and we have Y coordinate is minus 1. So this will give this point, which is A minus 1 comma minus 1. Now point B is 1 comma minus 1, means it is lie in fourth quadrant because X coordinate is positive and Y coordinate is negative. So X is positive, means this one, and minus 1 is here, this one. So we get, my dear friends, this point B, which is 1 comma minus 1. Okay, now we have to plot point C, which is 1 comma 1, means it lie in first quadrant. So X is 1 and Y is 1. So we get, my dear friend, this point, this is point C, 1 comma 1. So now my dear friends, now we know that ABCD is what? Is a square. So my dear friends, here is, if you see that from point A to B, the distance is what? The distance is 2 units. Okay, from point B to C, the distance is again 2 units. Okay, so similarly distance from point C and D should also be 2 units. So my dear friends, if we calculate this is our 2 unit. It means our point D lie here. So this is our point D. Okay, this is our what? Point D. And if we verify it, this distance is what? This distance is 2 units. So my dear friends, now we join this point to these sides. Okay, so we get point D. Now what is this coordinate? So the coordinates are, here is 1 and 1, but X coordinate is negative, means minus 1 and 1. So the coordinates of D is minus 1 comma 1. Okay, so my dear friends, points D lie in what? Lie in second quadrant. So we can write here as point D lie in second quadrants. Okay, so I hope, my dear friends, you understand these things. Yes, so now my dear friends, so the next question is, yes, question number 13 is, now which of the following statement is true? Okay, so we have to tell that from out of these 4 statements, which one is true. Okay, so now my dear friends, here is first statement is ordinate is positive to the right of the origin, So my dear friend, here is, this is our Cartesian plane, and right of the origin is positive x-axis. Okay, X-axis means abscissa. What is? Yes, as CISSA. Okay. So my dear friends, here is, if you observe this, right of the origin, there is a positive x-axis in abscissa. So, and it is talking about the ordinate, means y coordinates. So this is false. Okay. Now, ordinate is negative to the left of the origin. So my dear friends, to the left of the origin, there is negative x-axis. X-axis means there is negative abscissa. So again, this statement is false. Okay, now ordinate is negative below the x-axis. Below the x-axis. Okay, now my dear friends, here is, if we see that this is our x-axis. Now below the x-axis there is negative y-axis. There is negative y-axis, means negative ordinate. So my dear friends, we can say that this statement is our correct. This statement is our correct. Next is ordinate is negative above the x-axis, means if this is talking about this. So above the x-axis there we have positive y-axis. Okay, so according to this statement, this is false. Yes, so now my dear friends, so the next question is, which figure is formed by joining points O, which is 0, 0, point B, which is 16, 0, and point C, which is 16, 12 on a graph paper. Okay, so we have to find the figure. Okay, so first of all, let's plot these points on the graph. Okay, so let's suppose we have a graph like this. Okay, now we are plotting. Yes, my dear friends, so first of all we have 0, 0. So this is our 0, 0. This is origin. Okay, now second point is 16, 0, means this point lie on the x-axis, because here is y coordinate is 0. So we are plotting this point. So here is 16, 0. So here is what? So this is point R, point B. What is? Point B we have 16, 0. This point. Okay. Now next is 16, 12, means if we see that here is 16 is here and 12 is here. So my dear friends, this line is look like this. So this is our coordinate. Which coordinate? C coordinate. This is our coordinate C, which is 16, 12. So this is our C coordinate. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. Now my dear friends, we have to join these points. Okay, so first of all we have to join O2B. Now we have to join O2C. Okay, and we have to join C2B. So I hope you understand these things. So now my dear friends, we have O, C and B. So we can say that figure OCB is what? Is a triangle. Is a triangle. Figure OCB is what? It is a triangle. It is a triangle. Okay, I hope my dear friends you understand these things. So this is our answer of this question. Okay, yes. So the next question is, which quadrilateral is formed by joining the points 1, 1, 2, 4, 8, 4 and 10, 1. Okay, so now my dear friends, we have to plot these points. Okay, so let's suppose we are taking the name as A, which is 1, 1, B, which is 2, 4, C, which is 8, 4 and D, which is 10, 1. Okay, now point A is like here. Here is 1 comma 1. So this is our point A. Okay, and point B is 2 comma 4. X is 2 and y is 4. So our point is here like this. Okay, here is 2 and here is y 4. Now point C, which is 8 comma 4. Now in X there is 8 and in Y there is 4. So here is 4, 8 comma 4. So this is our point C. Okay, now point D is 10 comma 1. 10 comma 1. Here is point D is 10 comma 1. So my dear friends, if we join these point, so we get a figure like this. This is A and this is B. This is, here is C and this point is D. Okay, so now my dear friends, we can say that this figure is look like trapezium. It look like trapezium. So here is, we can say that from the graph, okay, points A, B, C and D forms a trapezium. Okay, trapezium A, B, C, D. Okay, so my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. So now this is enough for today and we will meet in the next lecture with the next amazing topic. So thank you very much for listening me and take care and goodbye.